Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Kamoshi. So here's our friend Grace from BITS Goa. Hello Grace, how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Can you tell me what all exams you had given in the last 2 years of preparation?
Okay. So mainly, obviously, JEE mains and advanced. I also tried for VI triple E, VIT triple E, then bits, then even a couple more CUSAT because I'm from Kerala. So some Kerala-based competitive exams too, like CUSAT, then KEAM, good set. So yeah, I prepared a lot, gave a lot of exams, hoping for the best.
Can you mention the top three scores like JEE Mains, Advanced, and your BITS Act?
Okay, mains, I couldn't do that well. I got 96.7 PR. Then in advanced, my rank was around 13K. And in BidSat, I scored 239.
What's your main reason to choose mechanical?
Right. So I always had an interest in like cars and stuff and mechanical. When I explored a lot, it showed me a good roadmap to that, like to Formula Student and then HERC and all. And even in BITS Goa, there are a lot of technical teams that are doing really well, and that all of that attracted me a lot. And so yes,
Right. So you mentioned the cars. So this is a funny question. So I'm asking
yeah.
everyone. Okay. So which in which car you would like to die, like in an
In which
accident?
car would I like to die? Okay, that's a good question actually. Um, I guess a muscle for sure. I'll go with demon. That would be ironic. Dodge
Okay.
demon. Yes.
So, and what do you like, sedan, SUVs, or anything else?
I have no particular choice, but I'm much more into Formula.
Mhm.
So yeah, that way.
Which is your like favorite franchise, like Mercedes
Favorite?
or yeah, favorite? I don't know much about F1s, but what Red Bull or anything else?
Right, the teams. Yeah,
Yeah,
obviously. Mercedes,
Mercedes.
Lewis
Yeah.
Hamilton. Yeah.
Can you share your experience for preparing for JEE exam and what motivated you to choose this path?
So when I came into 11, there was a lot of excitement going on, right? Everybody's going to different cities, going to coaching and all. But honestly speaking, in the beginning of 11th, I was not really, sure what I wanted to do. Obviously, engineering was my choice. I had an interest in physics, maths, but I was not ready to, go all in. But obviously, it's an important phase of our lives, 11th, 12th, whatever we study, whatever we prepare for, that haunts us for the rest of our lives. Yeah, I did not go for a coaching because honestly, I couldn't enjoy studying. I tried a few coaching, but honestly, I always enjoyed studying, and going to a coaching didn't give me that freedom I wanted. Yeah, so I didn't go for coaching. I went to a tutor. I had a mentor, a very good person. And 11th, 12th, I had to work very hard, obviously, to compete with others who were in coaching. So yeah, it was a fun ride. I enjoyed a lot. I stayed at my school. I went to a tuition in my city, and mostly it was self studies.
What were some biggest challenges you faced during your preparation and how did you overcome them?
Thing that I had to overcome, right? It was motivation. Yeah. Keeping a constant motivation, it's very difficult when you don't know your end, what would the outcome be, right? You're hoping for the best, you're going on and on. It's like 2 years, it's a very long time. So keeping that motivation alive, keeping that spark alive, enjoying your studies at the same time, making sure you are at that level in the competition. It's a very difficult thing to do. I'm glad I had a very good mentor, and he kept me motivated throughout the journey. He was with me. So, yes, I guess keeping motivation alive, that's the biggest problem for every aspirant all over
Mhm.
the country.
So, what was your ideal study routine during the 2 years?
Okay, ideal study routine, right? Honestly, I was not the kind of guy who would like spend 8 hours straight studying. I wanted to enjoy the most, right? Because studying is something sacred to me. So I never put restrictions on it. Some days I might even go 12 hours studying throughout. Some days I might take 2 days off, just like that. Whenever I feel like it, I give my entire life into the books, my cards. And when I felt like taking a break, I just step out of it, have fun, enjoy my life. So yeah, I had a very good balance to everything, and I'm proud of that. Yes.
So, what was your approach to time management and setting study goals?
Like I said, I never had a fixed schedule. In 11th, 12th, we all had goals, right? We had to
Mhm.
complete this syllabus in this amount of time. So I always had an idea of that. I used to write that down that whatever happens by the end of this week, I have to be very good at this subject or this, not this subject, this chapter, this topic, depending on how difficult it is. So, yeah, not a strict study routine, but a strict end goal about like small goals that I have to finish this at this time, whatsoever happens. I will be honest, I almost never completed it, but it kept me alive, right? It kept me motivated to go on.
Who was your mentor or teacher who guided you during the journey?
My mentor was Mr. Sandeep Tyagi. He was a teacher in my school, and I have been tutored by him for like 5 years from my eighth, right from the beginning, and I always trusted him. He, even though he was very harsh on me sometimes, but it always turned out excellent for me.
Which study material or resources you found the most during the your preparation?
Okay, at the beginning of 11th, I bought Allen test series, online test series. Honestly, it was very extensive, Allen materials. And apart from that, for physics, HC Verma was like my first go-to. For chemistry, NCRT was like goated. NCRT was like base. You have to know
Yeah.
completely NCRT. That's in math. Honestly, there's like no book that completely covers it up. It's a very wide world, and you have to keep on discovering. There's a lot of things you cannot completely cover math, right? There's billions of topics, topics within topics. So yeah, for math, I will suggest discovering as much as you go as much as you can.
Can you describe a particular memorable or a challenging moment during the exam preparation?
So I guess at the end, at the end of 12th, when the boards are coming, mains is coming, it's a very tough time to an aspirant who, like, honestly, even if you cover the entire syllabus, at that moment of time, you'll always think that I've, I've learned nothing. There's so much left. There's so much things I cannot solve. Even if, however good you are, you will have that uncertainty in your mind that, am I doing this well? Right? Even if the test scores are showing something good, showing something bad. So that moment at the end of 12th, right? Like at the month of your exam, I guess our first attempt was in Jan. So I'll say in the beginning of Jan. That moment was the most stressful, but at the same time, it was, yeah, I'll say more stressful. But at the same time, okay, I came back. At the same time, most excited, right? I can't get that word, but yeah, it's the most exciting that I have this much amount of time. I have to figure something out. I have to finish. I wouldn't say finish. I have to like go through a lot of materials, make sure I remember everything. So yeah, that last month that I think would be much memorable throughout my life.
So how did you deal with stress and pressure during the preparation?
I was very much into music and still am. I have an interest in music production. So whenever I felt very stressed out and I thought that nothing's going into my head, I just took my time off, explored songs, explored new genres, even produced a few beats. Yeah. So yeah, music for me was always a getaway from all the stress, and I cherished it.
Uh, what role did your support system like family, friends, and teachers play in your journey to cracking the exam?
My parents were a huge driving factor about my journey. My mother, especially, she always kept me on my toes, made sure that I wasn't slacking too much or maybe not much being hard on myself. She always kept me balanced. That's a very important part of a student life. It is to not go too much out of it or go too much into it. And my mom always made sure I was happy. That's what parents are for. They look after us. My dad especially kept me motivated. He was strict on me, made sure that I was giving my best into it. So listening to our parents, that's I think a very big part of student life. And they never stressed me, they never forced me into something that I never wanted to do, like going into coaching and all. They listened to me and I was happy with it.
So did you found like using YouTube is useful for the resources?
Yes, YouTube is vast. You can find everything in it. And even if there's some slack, there's something you can't solve, you'll obviously find a explanation on YouTube. Even if you don't want a solution, you'll get hints and all. So YouTube as a resource is very huge, and I'll recommend using YouTube wherever you can. Internet as a whole.
Any like particular channels you would follow?
Okay, like physics wala, he's like their one shots and all is very good. Khan Academy, one of the like they have everything in it, even if they keep it concise. So Khan Academy is also good, and there are other very a lot of small channels too that give you exactly what you need. So I'll suggest exploring as many channels as you can, not being stuck to the main ones.
What advice would you give to aspirants who are currently preparing for IIT or JEE?
Okay, so one advice I'd give that I've seen a lot in my juniors as well is that they are not enjoying studying, right? They are studying just to get into a good college. So, yeah, that's a good thing. I wouldn't say that's a bad thing, but you have to think about what it tolls on your mind, right? Mental health is very important. You should not do something that you are being forced into by peer pressure and all. You should always keep an open mind. Make sure you're doing exactly what you want and not just doing it because you have to do it. So that's an advice I'll give. Keep an open mind.
Beyond academics, how do you think preparing for IIT, JEE, or PITSAT shape your personal growth and development?
JW means an advance. These are like an opening. They open your eyes to what's out there, right? Like if you stay till 12th, till 10th, I guess I'll take 10th. You just have the books in your room. You study that. You go to school. You wrote, learn everything. But once you get into these competitive exams, you find that this world doesn't have an end. There's so much material. There's so much science that doesn't come to our eyes. You know, so exploring. I guess JW made me an explorer. I guess this feels like I'm talking about accounts, but it's not. It's much more about keeping oneself alive. That okay, this this shit is done, but there's something more that I have to go through. Is it okay if I curse in this? Yes, you have to not stop, never stop. Even if it's not about accounts, if it's about music, if it's about art, there's so much out there. You can go explore, never stop.
How did you feel when you received your exam result?
Getting a result is always disappointing, at least at this stage. Even if you score the highest, even if you score much above what you expected, you'll always want more. So getting result, it's harsh on every student, but keeping a balanced state of mind after you receive a result, not getting demotivated, like I studied so much for it, I prepped so much for it, but still I just got this. That you should not do that. You have to be like, okay, I got this much. I know I could do better, so I'll do better. I'll prepare harder for the next exam. So yes, all everybody feels bad, but you should not put that restriction on you. You should go ahead.
So here's our rapid fire question segment. So first question, here it goes. Favorite subject to study for IIT?
Maths.
Early riser or night owl?
Night owl.
Coffee or tea to fuel up late night study sessions?
I not have either.
Okay, what do you have usually?
Usually, if I'm feeling sleepy, I'll just go to sleep. If I have something to do. If there's a restriction, then I'll listen to music to keep active.
One word to describe your emotion on the day of exam.
Balanced. Kind of nervous, but balanced.
Great answer. So, favorite snack to munch on while studying.
Parathas. My mom makes amazing parathas.
Chemistry or physics, which one gave you more trouble?
Chemistry for sure.
If I may ask, in the three of chemistries, like inorganic, organic, and physical, which one gave you the most and the least?
Organic was always a headache for me, and physical, I was good at physical.
Group study or solo study sessions?
Solo study.
Favorite motivational song or a playlist?
That's a difficult question. At least in JEE mains period, I listened to Linkin Park and Alan Walker.
Best piece of advice you ever received during the preparation?
I guess it's about my mentor who told me to stay balanced. Balanced is as a word is very important to me. So yeah, never get too much into it or get too much out of it.
If you could go back in time, what's one thing you would tell yourself pre-exam self?
To trust yourself, because myself, I always doubted myself, but I know I could have trusted myself a little bit.
One thing you wish you could have banned from exam preparation forever.
I'll try to take out the competition because
Yeah.
there's a lot of competition, lot of stress
Uh,
that it gives to students.
just by saying competition, we could say just a rat race or a mat race it has become.
Exactly, that's the correct word.
Favorite way to celebrate after the exam?
Just stay alone at home, blast music out loud, and eat a lot. Yes.
So, what's the favorite thing you would like to eat?
I enjoy fast food a lot. Uh, Good cheeseburger. It's the best thing.
If you could summarize your entire IDJ BitSat experience in one emoji, which one it would be?
I guess the creepy smile even. Just the normal, the two dots and a smile.
So here's our rapid fire segment ends. So let's
Yeah.
move another side. Were there any superstition or quirky rituals you followed on the day of exam for a good luck?
I always made sure I wasn't studying at least 6 hours before exams because honestly, not worth it. It just gives you stress. And even if you study at that moment of time, I don't think it will ever be. So, yeah, 6 hours before exams, keep the books down and meditate.
Can you recall any particularly hilarious or embarrassing moment from your time taking mock test or practice exam?
At the last month of our prep, but before the first attempt, we were a group of friends sitting. We like gave online mock tests, and at that moment, at that day, particular day, we all wanted. I guess there was something weird vibe at that day, and we just kept our books down and we played a round of Uno out of random, just randomly. And yes, that was very weird. Even thinking back, but it was a fun day. It was honestly a great day.
So how did you felt a night before exam?
So, yeah, honestly, I'm a night owl, so I never thought about sleeping early. I always wanted to be well rested. So, keeping making sure that I'm doing the right thing at that moment of time, not going like spending too much time studying at the same time, making sure I'm getting the material covered. So, it was stressful, but it was all worth it. That thought in your mind, keeping you motivated at the same time, making sure you're well rested. That was my state of mind.
If you become a head of NTA, what changes you would do in a JE pattern, in the exam pattern?
I don't think I like to change anything in the exam pattern because honestly, it's like optimum. The only thing I'll change is like I said about the rat race.
Do you think NEET is easy than JE?
Okay, that's a difficult question to answer. My sister, elder sister, she prepared for NEET, and I saw how much she also struggled. So I don't have an answer for that because I think both are balanced and
Okay.
well, each to its own.
What do you think? Learning from YouTube, the free resources we are available is good, or we should buy a cheap crash course for a mediocre level student?
It depends on person to person. For me, I think whatever I bought, the material was never that useful as much as I learned through free materials available in the internet. But at the same time, some students do need crash course. So I won't give a particular answer to that. But for me, yeah, I think the free material was very much useful than the ones I paid. Like I said, I had an Allen test series, and then yeah, crash course I never paid for it,
Mhm.
So it was the distance learning programs, but excluding the lectures, just the scheduled tests.
Mhm. What do you think? Uh, Giving mock tests is important.
Yes, it is very much important, making sure you are at the right stage at the right time. It's a very good, I'll say, reflection of yours. So yeah, giving mock tests, it's very important, and skipping it, it's not worth it.
It's randomly asking you, which is your favorite IPL team?
Okay, I was not much into cricket, but I guess CSK has the most hype, so I am inclined towards CSK.
How do you feel about RCB?
Right. Okay. From the memes, it's hilarious. But yeah, I have no particular feelings for it. I just hope someday, some year, some season they win.
If someone offers you 1 crore to leave IITJ in the most important piece of time, like your 10 days before exam, would you accept it?
1 crore for?
Not to give the exam, JEE, first attempt, any exam after it.
No, I won't take it because that's superficial, right? 1 crore, it will disappear. But that exam can change your life.
Mhm. Have you ever watched Kota Factory?
I haven't watched Photo. I was not much into series. It was like I'll phrase it boring and too long, so not a series fan.
While doing your mock test, how was your pattern like physics, chemistry, maths, or maths, physics?
Honestly, I experimented a lot, but mostly it was chemistry, physics, maths.
Like I also followed that same chemistry, physics, maths.
Yeah, it is
Even
a perfect balance because chemistry doesn't take much time and math, it takes a lot of time. Starting with math is a very bad idea for most of us. Obviously, for some, it would be a good idea. So, chemistry, physics, math, I think, is a very general, very good method for all the students.
were there any extracurricular activities you would do?
Yes, I was very much active in my school. I like organized Teachers' Day and all. So I never took a step back from those things. Just like I never sacrificed much of my extracurricular for acads. I kept a good balance, and yes, I made sure I
Mhm.
did it.
So, okay, while ending, any beats you would like to just show us?
Right. Any beats? I don't have any on me right now. I When I moved out of my house, I lost a lot of data. So, and honestly, I don't have much time here. I'm in the filmmaking club of Bits Goa, so I just do sound design for that. And other than that, I've not produced a unique beat here, just the editing stuff.
We had a great time with you, Grace. I
Yeah, I
hope
had
you
a fun time.
enjoyed.
So subscribe to Path Patel is a very fun guy. I had a great time with him. So yeah, subscribe, share, like.